So I recently had to deal with something no family should ever have to say out loud. The HOA tried to attack my wife and then tried to arrest us. And the reason? Our K9 dogs. They called them a liability to neighborhood safety. Funny thing is, the only ones who got attacked were the ones who showed up looking for a fight. Let me start from the beginning. The first thing the HOA president, Karen Winthrop, gave us when we moved in wasn't cookies. It was a warning. Slipped under our gate, failure to remove aggressive canines may result in legal escalation. Elaine read it. Brutus peed on it. I should have done more than laugh. We'd only been on the farm for 2 weeks. It was peaceful, finally our own. Coffee at sunrise, eggs from the coop, goats being goats. So much silence it was almost suspicious. Elaine said it was the first place that didn't feel like borrowed time. But I don't trust silence that deep. Not when you've lived long enough to know peace is usually the first thing to get ambushed. Elaine was barefoot in the garden that morning, whispering commands to Delta in Czech. I was reinforcing the west fence. That's when Brutus froze by the gravel. Tail down, head low. That slow shift from calm to ready. Then she appeared. Khakis. Glossy white sneakers. Smile that didn't reach her eyes. I'm Karen Winthrop, she announced. President of Maple Hollow HOA. She handed me a sheet of paper like it was a peace offering. Due to recent boundary adjustments, your parcel now falls under our jurisdiction. Section 14C. Elaine stepped beside me. Echo flanked her. Karen's eyes darted to the dogs. They stared back. Watching. Judging. You may want to review our pet policies, Karen said. Very specific guidelines regarding animal behavior, noise, breed, temperament. They don't bark, I said. Yes, Karen replied, smiling thinly. I can see that. Brutus took a step forward. Echo mirrored it. Delta appeared on Karen's flank like he grew out of the dirt. Karen stepped back. They'll need to be reviewed. For community safety. Elaine tilted her head. You plan on sending someone into our yard to assess them? I think we'll let the citations do that for us. She turned and walked off, but you could see her ankles tense. That night, I woke to footsteps. Not human ones. Echo was sweeping the porch, ears up. Elaine sat on the porch swing, hoodie up, one hand lightly resting on a leash. You good? I asked. Almost, she said. The next morning, I found another envelope. No return address, no greeting. Just 6 bold words. You've been warned. Comply or escalate. Trixie, our neighbor, pulled it out and sniffed it. Smells like insecurity and low blood sugar. Then came the drone. Black. Silent. Right over the barn. Brutus sat under it. Ears up, tracking. I grabbed a wrench, stepped into its view. It zipped away fast. Elaine pulled up a video feed. That's not a toy. Thermal lens, possibly audio. Military grade, low-end civilian export. I blinked. For what? To see what makes you jump, she said. This isn't about dogs. And just like that, I knew. We weren't being welcomed. We were being sized up. It started small. Echo began sticking closer to corners. Brutus stared longer. Delta tracked things no one else could see. Then one day Elaine muttered, She's circling. Karen was pacing the property line like she was patrolling enemy territory. Brutus stood beside Elaine, breathing slow. Maybe she's just walking, I offered. Elaine didn't answer. She squatted beside Brutus, checked his collar like she was checking armor. I haven't seen that face since Kandahar, Trixie said, sipping from a mason jar. She's about to outplan God. 2 days later, the goat pen gate was open. No damage. Just unlatched. Elaine walked the perimeter, calm, methodical. She crouched. Boot tread. Male? Maybe 180 pounds. Brutus posted up that night. Echo stayed under the bench. Delta paced the back property line. That's when I saw the light trip. Motion triggered. Someone just outside the zone. Not moving. Just watching. Elaine stepped out with a remote. Dogs waited. When I called out, the figure vanished. Not a sprint. Not a stumble. Just gone. Another envelope. Wax sealed. HOA emblem. Inside. Ongoing aggressive behavior noted. Immediate compliance is mandatory. Attached photo. Elaine with Brutus at the fence. It looked posed. But we didn't take it. Someone did. From inside the property. Trixie held it up. If they wanted a headshot, they could have caught my good side. Elaine booted her laptop. Last night's visitor. Civilian gear. He knew to stay out of the light cone. That's trained behavior. Can you enhance the face? No need, she said. He's back. The drone returned. Same shape. Same engine. But now it had a payload mount. That's for gas, Elaine muttered. Or intimidation. Karen's not flying it. But she paid someone who is. That afternoon, Karen passed again. Scanning. Brutus moved between Elaine and the fence. Sometimes it's not the dogs that are the problem, Karen said softly. It's the people who think they're in control of them. What was that? I asked. Just a safety tip. That night, 3:17 a.m., Delta circled the barn like a wolf tracking something silent. Then we saw them, 3 men in boots, GoPro, bolt cutters, stun baton. Well, Trixie muttered. Looks like the HOA's recruiting off Craigslist again. Elaine stood at the gate, hoodie on. Calm. Ma'am, clipboard guy said. We're here to conduct a non-compliance inspection. Elaine tilted her head. You brought bolt cutters, she said. We've been instructed to. You crossed our line, Elaine replied. They moved. Brutus stepped forward. Echo flanked. Delta vanished. Stun baton guy grinned. Or what? Call your lawyer. Elaine didn't blink. I won't need to. Delta hit bolt cutter guy from behind. No bite. Just force. Knocked him flat. Clipboard guy screamed. Echo pinned stun baton guy. Brutus stood firm. Elaine snapped her fingers. Dogs froze. Karen's SUV rolled up. Phone recording. Get them under control. They are, Elaine replied. Bolt cutter guy muttered. They didn't say the dogs were like this. Trained. Disciplined. Smart, I said. You brought dangerous. Trixie walked out. Smile, boys. You're live. Karen peeled out. But that wasn't the end. That night, 2 cruisers, no knock. Elaine cuffed under Civil Order 14C. Dog aggression. Animal control rolled up. 3 leashes. Brutus didn't fight. Echo lay down. Delta had to be carried. Elaine said nothing. Just curled her fingers once, a nervous tick she only did after explosions. Karen smiled as the dogs were taken. You weaponized fear, Elaine said. You weaponized dogs, Karen replied. Trixie stormed out. Phone raised. You should have stayed quiet, Karen told me. You're going to wish we had. Karen filed a $250,000 civil suit the day before the arrest. Elaine came home 42 hours later. No charges. Just silence. Then we found the real reason. Zoning reports. Civil claim. Noise complaint. All fake. Karen wanted our land. Trixie found the smoking gun. An invoice to a shell company. Chemical barrels. VX derivatives. Buried under Karen's lot. Elaine called in a favor. Major Elkins arrived. Now Colonel. Files confirmed. Illegal storage, military nerve agents. Karen's signature. Court case filed. Karen fled. Arrested trying to board a plane under a fake name. HOA dissolved. Judge Ramirez ruled. You were right. Karen laughed. Someone worse always comes next. We still live here. Dogs home. HOA gone. Porch peaceful. But every so often we still see those letters. Wrapped in rules. Threats in envelopes. Brutus steps between me and the fence. Looks up. I remember we're ready now. They came to take what was ours. All they did was prove it was worth fighting for.